The Taylor C709 freezer machine has a 3.4 quart capacity freezing cylinder with a single spout door for dispensing soft serve ice cream. When properly maintained and operated, it will produce a consistent, quality product and many years of optimal service. Refer to the C709 Operator's Manual before operating and performing any of the following maintenance procedures. In this video, we'll show you how to assemble the component parts into the freezer, sanitize the parts, and prime the freezer with fresh mix in preparation to serve your first portion. We'll begin our instructions at the point where you enter the store in the morning, finding the parts disassembled and laid out to air dry from the previous night's cleaning. Assembly. Before performing any assembly procedures, make sure the power switch is in the off position. Lubricate the groove on the beater drive shaft. To make sure the mix does not leak out of the back of the freezing cylinder, the middle section of the boot seal must be convex. If the middle section of the boot seal is concave, turn the seal inside out so it is correctly configured. Slide the seal over the small end of the shaft, and then engage the seal into the groove on the shaft. Heavily lubricate the inside portion of the boot seal and the flat end of the boot seal that comes in contact with the rear shell bearing. Apply an even coat of lubricant to the shaft. Do not lubricate the hex end. Insert the beater drive shaft through the rear shell bearing in the freezing cylinder and engage the hex end firmly into the drive coupling. Take one of the scraper blades and slip it under the hook on the front of the beater. Wrap the blade around the beater, following the helix, pushing the blade down onto the helix as you wrap. At the back end of the beater, slip the blade under the hook. Repeat this step for the second scraper blade. Use extreme caution when handling the beater assembly, as the scraper blades are very sharp and may cause injury. Hold the beater securely and slide it into the freezing cylinder and over the end of the drive shaft. The beater should fit snugly, but not so tightly that the beater cannot be turned slightly to engage the drive shaft. Place the door gasket into the groove on the back of the freezer door. Do not lubricate the gasket or bearing. Slide the front bearing over the baffle rod so the flanged edge is against the door. Slide the 3 O-rings into the grooves on the draw valve and lubricate them. Lightly lubricate the inside of the top of the freezer door valve cavity. Insert the draw valve from the top with the draw handle slot facing forward. With the door seated on the freezer studs, install the hand screws with the longer ones on top. Tighten the screws equally in a crisscross pattern to ensure the door is snug. The C709 features an adjustable draw handle to provide portion control. The draw handle should be adjusted to provide a flow rate of 5 to 7½ ounces of product by weight per 10 seconds. To increase the flow rate, turn the adjustment screw clockwise. To decrease the flow rate, turn the adjustment screw counterclockwise. Position the draw handle with the adjustment screw facing down. Slide the fork of the draw handle into the slot of the draw valve and secure it with the pivot pin. Snap the design cap over the end of the door spout. Your machine may come with a shallow or deep design cap. Slide the drip pan into the hole on the side panel. Install the front drip tray and splash shield under the door spout. Slide the 3 O-rings into the grooves of the inner feed tube. Slide the 2 O-rings into the grooves of the outer feed tube. Make sure the hole in the air orifice is clean and not blocked. If the hole is blocked, use sanitizing solution to clear the hole. Slide the small O-ring into the groove of the air orifice. Lay the inner feed tube, the outer feed tube air orifice, and the agitator in the bottom of the mix hopper for sanitizing. Sanitizing. Mix 2 gallons of approved sanitizing solution with warm water following the manufacturer's instructions. Pour the 2 gallons of sanitizing solution over all of the parts in the bottom of the mix hopper and allow it to flow into the freezing cylinder. Be sure your hands are clean and sanitized. While the solution is flowing into the freezing cylinder, brush clean the mix level sensing probe on the bottom of the hopper, the mix hopper, the mix inlet hole, and the feed tubes. Place the power switch in the on position. Touch the wash symbol and allow the sanitizing solution in the freezing cylinder to agitate for 5 minutes. Place a pail beneath the door spout and then open and close the draw valve 6 times. Next, open the draw valve to draw off all of the sanitizing solution and then touch the wash symbol and close the draw valve. Lubricate the O-rings on the inner and outer feed tubes. Do not lubricate the O-ring in the air orifice. Place the inner feed tube inside the outer feed tube. Install the air orifice into the hole in the top of the inner feed tube. Make sure the hole in the air orifice is clean and not blocked. Stand the assembled feed tube in the corner of the mix hopper and place the agitator on the agitator housing. Priming. With a pail beneath the door spout, open the draw valve. Pour 2 1/2 gallons of fresh mix into the mix hopper and allow it to flow into the freezing cylinder. This will force out any remaining sanitizing solution. When full strength mix is flowing from the door spout, close the draw valve. When the mix stops bubbling down into the freezer cylinder, install the assembled feed tubes into the mix inlet hole. The pin on the inner feed tube should be turned and positioned at the bottom of the notch in the outer feed tube. This will align the holes in the feed tubes and allow mix and air to enter the freezing cylinder. Select the auto symbol. Fill the hopper with fresh mix and replace the hopper cover. You are now ready to dispense and serve product. Preparation for heat treatment cycle. This procedure must be performed once daily. The function of the heat treatment cycle is to destroy bacteria by raising the temperature of the mix in the freezing cylinder and the hopper to a specified temperature for a specified period of time, and then bringing the temperature back down low enough to retard spoilage. The heat treatment cycle will start at the time designated in the auto heat time. The level of mix in the mix hopper must be up to the fill line on the agitator paddle, and the mix low light must not be on. If the brush clean counter display has counted down to 1 day, do not add mix. The machine must be disassembled and brush clean within 24 hours. The freezer must be in the auto mode, auto symbol illuminated, or in the standby mode, standby symbol illuminated, before the heat cycle may be started. Make sure your hands are clean and sanitized before performing the following procedures. Remove the drip pan and hopper cover. Then remove the air orifice, the feed tube assembly, and the agitator from the mix hopper. Take them to the sink for cleaning and sanitizing. Rinse these parts in cool, clean water. Prepare a small amount of cleaning solution using warm water and then brush, clean, and sanitize the parts. Using clean, sanitized hands, install the agitator back onto the agitator post. If you do not install the agitator correctly, the machine will fail the heat cycle and lock out in the morning. Lift and turn the inner feed tube of each assembled feed tube so the pin rests on top of the outer feed tube. This will close the hole in the assembled feed tubes, preventing mix in the hopper from entering the freezing cylinder during the heating and standby process. Install the feed tube assembly and air orifice. Replace the hopper cover and install the drip pan. The heat cycle will start when the clock on the machine reaches the auto heat time set in the manager's menu. Once the heating cycle is started, it cannot be interrupted. The heating cycle will take a maximum of 4 hours to complete with full hoppers. Do not attempt to draw product or disassemble the machine during the heat cycle. The product is hot and under extreme pressure. When the cycle is complete, the control will return to the standby mode. The standby symbol will be illuminated. Daily closing procedures. Remove the design cap, front drip tray, and splash shield. Take them to the sink for cleaning and sanitizing. Make sure your hands are clean and sanitized before performing the following procedures. Prepare a small amount of cleaning solution using warm water and brush, clean, and sanitize the parts. Place the front drip tray, splash shield, and design cap on a clean, dry surface to air dry overnight or until the heating cycle is complete. Return to the freezer with a small amount of cleaning solution. Dip the door spout brush into the cleaning solution and brush clean the door spout and bottom of the draw valve. To ensure sanitary conditions are maintained, brush each item for a total of 60 seconds, repeatedly dipping the brush in cleaning solution. Using a clean, sanitized towel, wipe down the freezer door, front panel, the area around the bottom of the freezer door, and any other areas that demonstrate a buildup of either moisture or food substance. Daily opening procedures. Before performing the opening procedures, check the display panel for any error messages. Normally, the display is blank unless an operational fault has occurred. If a fault has been detected, investigate the cause and follow the instructions on the display before proceeding. Setup. Make sure your hands are clean and sanitized before performing the following procedures. Prepare a small amount of sanitizing solution using warm water. Sanitize the air orifice, design cap, front drip tray, and splash shield in this solution. Make sure the hole in the air orifice is clean and not blocked. If the hole is blocked, use sanitizing solution to clear the hole. Do not enlarge the hole in the air orifice. Return to the freezer with a small amount of sanitizing solution. Dip the door spout brush into the sanitizing solution and brush clean the door spout and bottom of the draw valve. To ensure sanitary conditions are maintained, brush clean each item for a total of 60 seconds, repeatedly dipping the brush in sanitizing solution. Using a clean, sanitized towel, wipe down the freezer door, front panel, the area around the bottom of the freezer door, and any other areas that demonstrate a buildup of either moisture or food substance. Install the front drip tray and splash shield. Snap the design cap over the end of the door spout. When ready to resume normal operation, touch the auto symbol. When the unit cycles off, the product in the freezing cylinder will be at serving viscosity. Lift the hopper cover. Turn the inner feed tube of each assembled feed tube so the pin rests at the bottom of the notch of the outer feed tube. Install the air orifice. Manual brush cleaning. This procedure must be completed every 7 or 14 days, depending on your application. Always follow local health codes. To disassemble the machine, the following items will be needed: 2 cleaning and sanitizing pails, sanitizer cleaner, necessary brushes provided with the freezer, single-service towels, draining product from the freezing cylinder. Press the auto symbol, canceling compressor and beater motor operation. Remove the hopper cover, the agitator paddle, and the assembled feed tube. Take these parts to the sink for cleaning. With a pail beneath the door spout, touch the wash symbol and open the draw valve. Drain the product from the freezing cylinder and the mix hopper and properly dispose of the mix. When the flow of product stops, touch the wash symbol, canceling the wash mode. Close the draw valve. Rinsing. Pour 2 gallons of cool, clean water into the mix hopper. With the white hopper brush, scrub the mix hopper, mix level sensing probes, and the outside of the agitator drive shaft housing. Using the white bristle brush, brush clean the mix inlet hole. Do not brush clean the mix inlet hole while the machine is in the wash mode. With a mix pail beneath the door spout, touch the wash symbol. Open the draw valve on the freezer door. Drain all the rinse water from the door spout. Close the draw valve and touch the wash symbol, canceling the wash mode. Repeat this procedure using clean, warm water until the water being discharged is clear. Hopper cleaning. Prepare 2 gallons of cleaning solution using warm water. Pour the solution into the hopper and allow it to flow into the freezing cylinder. Using the white hopper brush, clean the mix hopper, mix level sensing probes, and the outside of the agitator drive shaft housing. Using the white bristle brush, clean the mix inlet hole. Do not brush clean the mix inlet hole while the machine is in the wash mode. Touch the wash symbol. This will cause the cleaning solution in the freezing cylinder to come in contact with all areas of the freezing cylinder. Place an empty pail beneath the door spout. Open the draw valve on the freezer door and draw off all the solution. Once the cleaning solution stops flowing from the door spout, close the draw valve and touch the wash symbol, canceling the wash mode. Disassembly. Failure to remove parts specified for brush cleaning and lubrication will result in damage to the machine. These parts must be removed every 7 or 14 days, depending on your application, or the machine will lock out and will not operate. To disassemble, first be sure the power switch is in the off position, and then remove the hand screws, the freezer door, the beater, the scraper blades, and the drive shaft with the drive shaft seal from the freezing cylinder. Remove the design cap, the freezer door gasket, the front bearing, the pivot pin, the draw handle, and the draw valve. Remove the O-rings from the draw valve. Remove the front drip tray, the splash shield, and the drip pan and take them to the sink for cleaning. If the drip pan is filled with an excessive amount of mix, it is an indication that the drive shaft seal or O-ring should be replaced or properly lubricated. Prepare 2 gallons of cleaning sanitizing solution in warm water. Make sure all of the brushes provided with the freezer are available for brush cleaning. Thoroughly brush clean all of the disassembled parts in the cleaning solution, making sure all lubricant and mix film is removed. Be sure to brush all surfaces and holes, especially the draw valve hole in the freezer door. Rinse all the parts with clean, warm water. Place the parts on a clean, dry surface to air dry overnight. Return to the freezer with a small amount of cleaning solution. Using the black brush, clean the rear shell bearings at the back of the freezing cylinder. Wipe all exterior surfaces of the freezer with a clean, sanitized towel. Following these maintenance procedures will ensure optimum performance of your Taylor C709 soft serve machine and provide you with many years of effective operational life.